This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by HVAC Trust Books. Go to hvactrustbooks.com to discover how this tool can help you close more sales. Thank you for joining us. Here is how we will help your business and you today. Recently, I hosted a meeting for the contractors I work with on a consulting basis. Willie Zell, the creator of the Trust Books, did a phenomenal presentation on shipbuilding. Shipbuilding? What does that have to do with contractors? Will gives you the answer during this podcast. Well, thanks for being with me and welcome to Contractor Sense.
Ruth, it's absolutely my pleasure and great to be doing it face-to-face.
It is face-to-face. I mean, we don't get to do it face-to-face very often, which is actually kind of fun.
It is.
So, all right, you started the presentation by going through, and we got bored by the time we hit D, I think, all the words that end in ship. And you started with A and you hit D and then you looked at the audience. We all started glazing over and you stopped. How many words end in ship?
Well, not just end in ship, but how many words are there in the English language that have the word ship in them? Mm-hmm. Because shipping.
Yeah, that's true.
So to the best of my knowledge, and I've done a bunch of research on this, 913 ship words.
All right. So if we think about it, at least from my perspective, the most important word of that is relationship.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I agree.
From a religious standpoint, it might be fellowship. However, from a day-to-day selling perspective, dealing with your employees' perspective, dealing with your spouse and your kids' perspectives, it's all about relationships.
Yeah, leadership. That's another strong one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know much about leadership.
Well, yes, you do, but we're not going to go there.
No, we're not. No.
All right, so let's talk. Can we talk about relationships? Because that's, to me, the really, really important one here. We all have a relationship, good or bad. And sometimes they're good relationships, which we prefer to have with our employees and our kids and our wives and things like that, rather than bad relationships. But we also have to do that and transfer that to customers. And so how do we create a really, really good customer relationship? And I know you do a lot of work in the area of behavior and getting people to say yes without being pushy and salesy and, obnoxious. Let's put it that way. And looking at it from that perspective. So what have you seen that has been really good ways to build relationships?
Well, yeah, I've seen a lot more bad ways than good ways, and you have too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and that's the thing, and so when I look at what people are doing to build relationships with their clients, for example, I will tell you that the place that it starts, forget about behavior, is with yourself, having a good relationship with yourself. But then it goes to your team, okay? Mm-hmm. Somebody says, happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with your team, all right? If your team is really happy, they love working with you, they find it a pleasure, that kind of stuff, what are they going to translate to our clients that we send our team members out to? They're going to be happy and they're going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
And so also the other thing is that, when you look around and see how people are finding and attracting new buyers into their businesses, most people are going, look at me, I'm great. Here's the thing. Nobody believes me when I say that about myself.
No.
But if somebody else is saying, look at Will, he's great, then wow, people really get it. So we see a lot of people in a lot of marketing, and what they're doing is screaming the wrong message to begin with, okay? They're not building a relationship. They're saying, buy this at some cheap price. What happens when you advertise cheap prices?
You're going to get cheap people.
Right. They're not quality. They're not loyal. They're not anything. So why don't you start thinking about how you can build a relationship with your prospects and your existing clients and grow on it.
Right. Now, this is the thing that I really and truly don't get that maybe you can explain to me. We're in the age of testimonials. We're in the age of if somebody's going to see even if they see an ad or they see a letter that you send or even get a referral from their neighbor or friend, they're going to go to your website as a general rule before they call you, I would think, correct?
I think so.
and they're going to look at the testimonials you have on your website. And, okay, these are total strangers.
I can't explain that phenomenon, Ruth. It baffles me like beyond belief, okay? That I believe a complete stranger, when I go to Google and I look at people's reviews, and I'm reading those reviews, by the way.
And you're doing the same thing I did then.
Of course. And I believe them. I know it's crazy. It's a phenomenon in behavior I can't explain.
Well, there goes your PhD.
Yep.
That would be a really, really cool PhD thesis project for somebody in behavioral communications.
It's not just what people are saying. It's the 5 gold stars also. Mm-hmm. Okay. So where are we getting? And by the way, there is a phenomenon that a lot of people will go and read the 1 stars way over the 5 stars.
So in other words, they're going to go and they're going to rank the reviews from 1 star to 5 star and start at the bottom, which is the 1 star, right?
They are, because we want to see what kind of an ugly chance we have of working with somebody. I know you can laugh and you think that's funny, but the truth is people really do go and read those 1 star reviews.
All right, so let's build the relationship, because obviously we want the 5 stars, and there's plenty of platforms out there who can help you put reviews online and things along like that. That's not the point of this. The point is really, okay, let's get back to building the relationship. And we don't want to go, look at me, look at me, look at me. We want to go and do what?
We want to do what I've been doing for the last 6 or 7 years. What I realized is I had a millennial in my office, and I read a script that I wrote for somebody. I thought it was great. It wasn't salesy, pushy, or obnoxious. And she looked at me and she goes, "I'd never buy that." Okay? That really got me thinking, because...
Was she the target audience for it?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
But it really got my head spinning. And I think about, like, there's 3 really critical factors: know, like, trust. Right?
That's K-N-O-W, not N-O.
K-N-O-W. Correct. Thank you, Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Know, like, trust. And I'm thinking about what she said. And I want to tell you, people challenge me. I listen to what they say. And that's what a lot of business owners don't do. They should be listening to the people that are giving them 1 and 2 stars. Okay? Or the feedback. Know, like, and trust. There's only one way to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's to build a relationship with you. So what do? We create messages. And when I say messages, these are marketing pieces, if you want to call them, advertisements, postcards, letters, videos, radio spots. I don't care what it is. We start talking to people, trying to trigger their emotions and build that relationship with them. And as you saw, I shared maybe 4 or 5, 6 videos of major clients throughout the United States, Fortune 100 companies that we've created television spots for that aren't saying, buy now, buy me, buy this. We are triggering people's emotions, trying to link your heart to our brand or to our name.
Okay, terrific. All right, when we get back from break, you're going to tell me and answer the question, okay, she says I'd never buy this, and you're going to give us what happened after that.
Okay.
Will that work?
After the break.
All right, so we'll be right back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I've seen my clients' salespeople struggle when a customer asks why they should use your company rather than the competition when your price is higher and you both are proposing the same equipment. I've seen technicians struggle when customers ask them whether they should replace an 18-year-old air conditioner. And most salespeople and technicians never ask the one question that most customers are concerned about, yet never ask. Can I trust you? I found a tool that gives your salespeople and technicians the ammunition to answer this question and more. And the tool works. How do I know? 68% of my clients are using it to increase sales and referrals. What is it? A trust book with your name on it as the author. More details are at hvactrustbooks.com. Warning, there is only one contractor per area that can get these great books. Some areas are already taken. They've gone to my clients. If you want your area and want to have a tool for your salespeople and technicians to increase referrals and sales, then go to hvactrustbooks.com now and reserve your area.
Eliminate costly warranty leak repair headaches. 3 years ago, Ruth King wrote a leak policy letter for one of her clients who was dealing with huge warranty leak issues. When she gave the letter to technicians and trained them on how to use it, warranty leaks went from 0, that's right, 0. Then, she gave the letter to one of her other clients and any contractor who wanted it. The results? The same, 0 warranty leak repairs. The unexpected benefits? An increase in replacement sales. Ruth shares the letter with anyone and everyone who wants it. So, get your sample leak policy letter for free. No strings, no catches, no guaranteed results. Go to hvacchannel.tv or call us at 877-520-4321. Click on the link in the middle of the homepage to get your free leak policy letter. I hope you experience 0 warranty leak repairs and eliminate a major costly headache.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I have the pleasure of having Will Ezel in the studio talking with us about shipbuilding, and the key is building relationships. Before the break, he started telling us a story which he totally stopped the end of the story. So we're going to go to the end of the story. So you were reading the script, and the target audience was a millennial who was in your audience, and she looked at you and go, "I'd never buy that." And you were like shocked, right?
I wasn't shocked. She's an outspoken young lady. Her name's Amy, and her favorite line is, "Well, that's not how I roll." Okay. So I used to call her, "That's not how I roll, Amy." All right. But
I can see her in your office and you being you. Well, that's not how I roll.
Yeah. Well, remember I always say it's a lot easier to meet people in their world than it is to ask them to come to your world.
Okay. So she looked at the script and said, "I'd never buy this," and you said,
"Why not?" Okay.
Uh-huh.
And listen, you got 2 ears and one mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You really have to listen to people and start thinking about stuff, using your mind proactively. And that's what most people in business have a tough time doing. It seems like all we do is walk in and react, putting out a fire. I spend a lot of time in proactive mode, and I want to know, I want to drill down, and I want to hammer down what it is. Well, hey, she's a millennial. She's been around with a computer in her life from day one. She's been barraged by hundreds and thousands of messages every day of people screaming, "Buy me, look at me," all that kind of stuff. And it just started making sense to me that, you know what we're doing when we're screaming all this stupid message is we're losing touch with the people who are paying for everything that we have, our homes, paying for our children, everything. So why don't we start building a relationship with these people, endearing their hearts to us?
Okay. So I'm an HVAC contractor, or I'm a plumbing contractor, electrical contractor, pool and spa, generator, whatever. And I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, listening to you and saying, okay, how do I build a relationship that's not me?
Well, you start thinking about, and I want you to take a piece of paper when you're thinking about this and going to your thinking ground. Mine is water. I like, because we live in Florida, I go to the Gulf Coast and sit down and I start thinking. What I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself the experiences that you've had, your technicians have had, anybody has had in your business, that is, what are you doing when people are saying, "Oh my God, you're awesome, you're phenomenal." And I guarantee you there are so many stories and experiences that you've had in people's homes with your clients, all that kind of stuff, where you're going to start remembering situations that you had that these are heartwarming, heart-touching stories. I think that every HVAC contractor, as an example, could come up with 15 if they just sit down for an hour.
All I have to do is look at the letters that people send them.
Exactly. Yeah. And then go back, call those people. Ask them if you can shoot a quick video talking about their experience.
And I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to shoot it on my cell phone.
You better.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more believable. It's okay to have a handshake. But, Ruth, how do you hold that?
You hold it horizontally.
Exactly.
Not vertically.
Right, because we don't go to the movie theater and see the screen that's vertical. We don't watch television at home on a vertical screen. So give the information to people in the way that they're used to seeing it.
Horizontally.
Yes. But a lot of people don't. That's why I'm stressing this point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, when they take a picture, they take it vertically rather than horizontally.
Well, it depends. If it's a person standing, that's okay. But
yeah.
Yeah, they take a picture of a whole group of people vertically. Like, what are you thinking?
What are you thinking about? You and I both came to the same conclusion at the same time. All right, before the break, you also mentioned emotion, tugging at our heartstrings.
Yes.
I mean, we're a bunch of guys, and we're not emotional. I mean, so what do we do? Hire somebody who can write emotionally?
Well, I gave your audience, your clients, an exercise. I said, what emotion fits in the palm of your hand? Mm-hmm. And just start thinking about it like that. Okay, that might not have anything to do with HVAC, plumbing, et cetera, et cetera. But when you start thinking about it in that terms, certainly our pets' paws,
Yeah.
our children's hands. Mm-hmm. What about your first car? You remember when you put your hands on that steering wheel?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Who doesn't remember that?
That
okay,
was pretty cool.
So then,
my first bike too. Now I'm going back many, many, many years, but it was like it was the first taste of freedom.
There you go. See, look at that. You didn't even go to your thinking ground and you're doing that. But that's the point. There are emotional triggers that we can use to find the emotion in everything. Mm-hmm. So how do you put an emotion to a thermostat?
The fact that they stay comfortable in their homes. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to worry about stuff. You know, many, many years ago, I don't think I've ever told you this, one of the best ads that I ever did was two women talking. You wouldn't believe what happened last night. You know, I came home and it was, like 90 degrees out, whatever, and my air conditioner stopped working. And the other one goes, well, what did you do? And I said, I called whatever the name of the company was. And this great guy, Mike, came out. And I promise you, Mike got more. People called up and said, I want Mike.
Yeah.
It's just like they could imagine what was going on there. And so, I mean, that was the emotional trigger. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm walking into my house and it's, 100 degrees outside and the house is 80.
So you remember I showed 3 pictures of a thermostat. 2 of them had very attractive women smiling, looking comfortable. That starts to drive an emotion in a way, okay? Mm-hmm. There are ways to deliver an emotion for almost everything that you do in your business. I also told them or made a suggestion to them to every Friday have every one of their marked vehicles go through a drive-through window, hand the person that you give your money to an extra $10 to pay for the car behind you, or however many cars are going to be behind you for that $10. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. All you got to do then, after you do that, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, get in touch with the media. They love really positive stories. So you got 5 trucks, 10 trucks, 20 trucks.
2 trucks. It doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Right. And then, they do a news article. The local newspaper, the local radio station, the local TV station. Next thing you know, on Fridays around noon, you're going to have people following your trucks.
Your trucks around.
But it's a very positive, feel-good story, and it really doesn't cost that much. I mean, think about what a radio spot costs versus having a radio station or a TV station doing an article about how you're paying it forward.
We used to do that with toll booths. I mean, you can tell where I grew up, upstate, in New York, and we all had toll booths. So, in these days, to cross the Verrazano Bridge is $9.75 a day. So you would have the whole 10. I mean, back then it wasn't $10, it was a couple bucks, but it was so much fun to pay for the person behind you and just watch their expression as you drove off.
Yeah, thumbs up, thank you.
Yeah.
But all the goodwill and good feelings that does, and it's really not that expensive to do. And if you forced me to spend an hour thinking about what HVAC companies can do, I could come up with 10 ideas. And this, I'm not interested in giving a man a fish.
Now you're interested in teaching him how to fish so he can fish himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, from that perspective. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, where would they do that? How could they get a hold of you? Dead silence. Will@williezell.com.
There you go. Will@Will Ezell, EZELL
Or you can just go to hvactrustbooks.com.
Yes,
too.
you can.
You can go to either of those places.
Changing contractors' lives.
Yeah, and it has, absolutely. That book has done phenomenally well.
Thank you.
And there will be Will's making some updates, some different options for the books that you'll hear about in a few podcasts in a couple weeks, probably. So, cool. Will, thanks so much for being with me.
Ruth, pleasure. Good to see you smiling. It's great. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Choose one thing that you discovered and implement it in your business. These ideas, tactics, and strategies help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Pay for somebody's lunch. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. For comments or questions, call me at 770-729-0258 or email Ruth King at hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.
Pay for my lunch.